Hello and welcome to my Jigsaw recording of Tuesday, August 13th. And this is our second day meeting. And today we are talking about elements. And I also have this cute little picture here. And I'm thinking about what do you think this might be related to elements. I'll give you just a sec. You can pause it if you need more time to think. And that is a picture of gold, little gold clusters, or maybe the small ones, or even atoms, and it's on tin background. And this was taken with a scanning electron microscope, and I thought it was a really neat picture of probably one of your favorite elements, at least for some of you guys. All right, I'll scoot through the slides that don't really pertain to us because it's a recording. But here we go, knowledge check of what knowledge you obtained yesterday or remembered. So if you need longer, you can pause this. I'll give you a sec to think about which of the following does not have a charge. And pause it if you need more time. The correct answer is a neutron does not have a charge. And I think I can actually annotate on here. I can. Cool. Okay, so the correct answer is the neutron. So why isn't it a nucleus? Because nucleus was the second most common answer. But a nucleus is actually positive because a nucleus contains protons and neutrons. So it contains neutrons and protons. So that's our nucleus. That is the mass inside the nucleus, the protons and the neutrons. The electron has a negative charge, E minus, and of course the proton, we just said, had a positive charge. So if you need more help with this, please give me a call or an email and I will get back to you with that. And then let's see if it'll switch with the annotations on. Nope, it went randomly wherever it wanted to in the presentation. Okay, so here's knowledge check 2. Which list correctly orders the parts of an atom from heaviest to lightest in mass? All right, so if you need more time to choose your answer, go ahead and pause this until you're ready for the explanation. Okay, so here's the explanation. The lightest, let me turn the annotation back on. Oh, let me find my slide. It just like randomly switches them. Oh, there it is. It went back to the first slide. Good to know. Okay, so I'm going to say here, look, we've got heaviest to lightest, and I know what the lightest particle is. Do you know what the lightest particle is? And if you said electron, then you are correct. So I know that we are looking at either the volume up or the turtle. So I'm going to get rid of OK and get rid of happy face because they did not have the electron listed as the lightest particle. But an electron's mass, we learned yesterday, is almost 0. And the neutron and the proton mass, they're the same. They're about 1 AMU, 1 atomic mass unit. And then when you combine those protons and neutrons together, what part of the atom are we looking at that's going to be the heaviest? And hopefully you said it was the nucleus that is a combination of the protons and the neutrons. I'll get better at this annotation eventually when I get used to the program. All right, so that is going to be our correct answer, is going to be the turtle. And again, if you have any questions, you can call me or send me an email. All right, turn off annotations and back to the beginning. Find back to my slide, which brings me to our pre-test. Have you taken it yet? You should take the pre-test before starting any coursework. You do need to take this in live class with me because this is an end of course class, so you have to take that live with me. There's my phone number and my email address if you need anything. If it goes to voicemail, that means that I'm in class or I'm in a meeting where I can't take a phone call. So I will call you back if you leave a good callback number, or else I'll just call the number you called me with. Anyway, so today's lesson, or the 13th, 8/13th, was on elements. And so you're going to explore elements in 3 parts. Understanding the properties of an element, describing the isotopes, and explaining how ions form. Let me just go over a couple of details about those. Each element has a unique number of protons, and this is the number that it has on the periodic table. Like element number 1 is hydrogen. Let's see, it's right there, right? And it's number 1 because it has 1 proton. Lithium, right below it, is number 3 because it has 3 protons. I don't know how good that works, but I'll ask in class. I'll try that out in class today and see how well you guys can see it. That's called the atomic number. Now, isotopes have to do with the changing number of neutrons. Generally, you either have equal number of protons or neutrons, or you have excess neutrons. Like carbon-12 has 6 protons because carbon's number 6, and it has 6 neutrons to get a total of 12. The carbon-14 has 2 extra neutrons. It has 6 protons, that makes it carbon, and it has 8 neutrons. 6 plus 8 is 14. So they have a different number of neutrons, same number of protons. The ions, we always seem to be comparing to the protons, which tells us which element it is. So in a neutral atom, there are equal numbers of protons and electrons. If you lose electrons, right, your electron number goes down, now we have more protons than electrons. So we're going to get a positive ion. This might be written like Na+1. Maybe you've seen that before. I'm sure you've seen ions before. Maybe you just didn't understand how they were formed here. So if you gain electrons, like chlorine likes to gain an electron, now you have more electrons, more negative charge, so the ion will be negative. And so that's the gist of the lesson. So you are going to go over to Canvas now and go down to the modules, and you're going to explore the elements module. And just a reminder that guided notes are optional. You can print those like 4 or 6 per sheet, and that way you're not using oodles of paper. And plus it's so big that if you print it 4 or 6 on the sheet, it'll actually be regular size. It won't be gigantic. You've got to do the warm-up, the instruction, and the summary, and then the check for understanding. So you want to go through all of that. So you're going to pause this, go through that, and then come on back for the summary. All right, I am back for the summary. Just scoot through this. All right, so hopefully from watching the element module, you have gained an understanding that elements are made up of one type of atom, like all gold atoms have 79 protons, and it's also number 79 on the periodic table, and gold is right there on the periodic table. It's number 79. Isotopes have the same number of protons, different number of different number of neutrons. So hydrogen 2 has 1 proton and 2 neutrons. Hydrogen 3 has 1 proton and 3 neutrons. I'm sorry, I said that totally wrong. Hydrogen 2 has 1 proton and 1 neutron for a total of 2. And hydrogen 3 has 1 proton and 2 neutrons for a total of 3. Did anyone catch my error when I made it the first time? That's good. If you ever think I'm making an error, please point it out to me. So, ions form when they gain or lose electrons. Because chlorine is over here in group 17, it wants to be like argon by gaining 1 electron. And we'll learn more about that in the coming classes. So that, my computer battery is about to die. There we go. I have plugged it in so I can finish the recording. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in class. All right, stop recording. Bye.